everyone, it's Mae Larson here with Creating with Details, and I want to show you guys our strawberries and cream flower kit. Now, for this kit, you're going to get all these yummy laces and goodies to create some lovely flowers. And I wanted to show you some that I have been working on, and this is one of our mesh ruffled trim that we carry in our store, and of course, these are some of the centerpieces that we have available as well. Now, if you purchase our spring reef hat, you probably got some extra trim, and what I did is I took some of that extra trim and I made a cute mesh flower there. And this one's also using that same trim that I had leftover pieces, and I took some pieces of laces that I had laying around. I cut them up and created this yummy flower. And again, this is using some of our laces and trims and our shabby chic rosettes and one of our new buttons. This is again using some of our trims, gathered it up and created this piece, and this is using our shabby rosettes that I cut up and created that piece. So when you're creating flowers, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're using new stuff. You can use, of course, anything that you have laying around. But one of the important things is you need a good long needle, especially if you have arthritis in your hand. So it's really important that you try to get something that's flexible for your hands. So let's get started. We're going to try to create one using this one here. And of course, you're going to get all these yummies. Put that over there. And I've already, like I said, I've already put the thread in my needle. This is a 5-inch needle. You're going to need some fabric glue if that's what you want to use to glue it up, or some hot glue, some felt, and any pieces of ribbon, trims, or laces, buttons, whatever you have at your hands. So let's get started with this one. And we're going to do a quick running stitch and lock it in place so that our thread doesn't come undone when we pull it. Now, once we do that, we're going to do a running stitch across, and that's just going straight across. And I'm not going to bore you with that, so we'll be right back with the finished running stitch. And I'm going to take the two raw ends together and hold it in place, just like so. And then I'm going to do a lock stitch at the bottom here, and I'm going to make sure those two edges match up before I even do that. And I'm going to go ahead and do a lock stitch right there. And you can do that several times to make sure you have a good locking stitch. Go ahead and wrap that around a couple times, pull, and then I'm going to go ahead and run another running stitch across to seal that up. Now, I prefer it doing this way just so that you have a really nice clean finish. Some people choose to put hot glue or fabric glue. It's your choice. That's why I said you can either use fabric glue or hot glue, whichever you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and lock that in place at the bottom and trim it. Once you have that, go ahead and kind of straighten out your trim there. Just kind of get it to your liking, just like so. Once you have that done, in your kit, you have, of course, your felt. And I always put a bead of glue in the center, and I hold my finger in the center of the flower, and I start holding in place while it's cool, just to get it to how I want it, so that when it glues up or dries up, it's to my taste. Just like so. And I don't release my finger until I have that perfect fit. of how I want my flower, so that when it dries up, it's to how I want it. See? Perfect. Now, I will take, and when you're building flowers, you can make it more fuller and yummy just by, you know, doing various things. You can lay that on top, but I didn't want to do that. I want to build onto this flower. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and trim some of these leaves up. And we're going to work our way up to build a really full flower. And by that I mean I'm going to take some scraps of trims and other miscellaneous things that I have laying around here, and we're going to build onto this flower to make it more fuller. Okay, so now I have that, and of course this will go around. We can clean up some of the edges on the mesh here. Yeah, some of them don't come perfectly cut around, so when you get your kit, just make sure you trim around those edges of the leaves. Some people doesn't mind that. I do. Okay. So you can kind of figure out how much or where you want these. Or before I even do that, I have all these little pieces of cotton trim that goes with that cotton trim kit that we have. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut some random pieces and lay it like so. And I'm going to start building onto this. And then I have some of that sari ribbon left over too from the previous kits, because I want this flower to be really full and lumptious. So I'm going to go ahead and lift and glue. That way I'm not losing placement. And then I'm going to go ahead and place these into place. It doesn't matter if one piece is long. We're going to make a really shabby, chic, cute flower here. And for this, you can use anything you have laying around. I just kind of had this laying around here, and I thought it would be perfect instead of letting it go to waste. We have that. Now we can go ahead and clean up some of these glue webs. It's the thing about glue guns, okay? And then we can go ahead and grab these and just place it where we want it, somewhat want it. Then in your kit you should have gotten a little small mini rosette, and we can place that in the center just like so. But before I do that, I also have this fiber trim here. Cut some of that off. Roll some of that in my finger, and let's go ahead and put some of that just to add more texture and layers to this flower. Just gives it more of a pop. And just bang it in the center. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that in the center, just like so. And that other piece that we have here, of course we could have put that right there, but I didn't want to put it in the center. I can use that for something else. And there's that. And then we have this little baby here. We're going to add that in the piece, the bottom. Or right there, that centerpiece, sorry. Just like so. Now we have that lovely piece. Using those trims. And then of course we have some extras. And you can use this for something else. You know, use it for another piece that you're working on, or you can also take some of these little pieces here, and you know what, I'm going to do that. Let's just work around this one flower. Give me some more of a pop. Take some of this chiffon and just pop it in there. You don't have to do that. Like I said, you can just put it straight in. Or like I said, use this piece for something else. It's up to you. I'm just giving you some other ideas instead of just, you know, kind of throwing it on top. Just to make a little cute shabby chic flower. It gives it a really nice pop. Let's grab a piece here from this one. And some of the fibers popping up through the flower really gives it a more of a textured, layered look that you would want for a shabby chic flower. Okay. Let's see how all that sticks out, and it's pretty full. See that? Pretty cute shabby chic flower. So that's for that kit. Now let's work on the second kit. So I'll be right back. What we're going to work on is this lovely piece here, and I think these are so cute. Again, the sky's the limit when you're working with these pieces. And for this one, again, you're going to need your needle and thread. Go ahead and get that ready. And I'm going to decide which one I'm going to go. I'm going to go with this one with the layer because it's a little bit longer. And I'm going to go ahead and trim some of this extra because I don't want all this here. So we're going to make this just a little shorter by trimming off some of this mesh. Go there, about so. So I cut about 1 inch off, and you can use that for a filler. So let's go ahead and again start with a lock stitch. I have about a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then I'm going to do a running stitch straight across, so I'll be right back with that. Okay, so now I'm at the end, and I'm going to go ahead and pull my needle through. And again, we're going to gather it and get the two sides, the two raw sides together. And hold it in place and do a lock stitch at the end. Run that through a couple times. And then I'm not going to cut or sew these two ends together, and I'm going to show you why. We're going to do a layered flower, and by that I mean we're going to take this other trim and layer it on top. And before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and change the thread on my needle here. I always recommend that when you're using thread for your flowers to make sure it's a good needle, like a quilting, or not good needle, but yeah, you need a good needle, sorry. But you need a good thread, like a quilting thread, because you're pulling so much that you don't want that thread to break in between or halfway through your gathering. I have a hard time gripping into things, so as you can see, I'm not good at gripping. Okay, so when I said we're going to do a layered, is that this one's a little bit bigger and this one's going to lay on top. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. We're just going to cut it a little because we don't want it to overlap our base trim. So again, we have that piece there. And I'm going to go ahead and do a lock stitch and a running stitch across, and I'll be back. Okay, so now I did the running stitch and I gathered up my second layer of my flower. And of course, once you have that, I did my final running stitch across to close that petal up. And then we're going to kind of get it to our liking. All right, and then we're going to set that one aside for a bit, just for a bit. And I try to make sure that was the right fit. And then on this one, we're going to go back to this. Now, the reason I didn't close the two ends together is because you see all these little scallops? If you trim these just like maybe an inch or so, or maybe an inch and a half, it's going to give it a really cute look. It's going to give it a pop. Maybe it's about 2 inches that I'm cutting in. But you don't want to go in all the way in, you know. But I'm just going in between the two scallops and just trimming about an inch or so. That's about, I'll measure it for you. About an inch and a half that I'm cutting in. And I'm doing that in between each little scallop. Oops. So now we have this little thing going on, right? Now we have our felt circle here ready, and I'm going to put a dot of glue there. Grab that in the center and go and place it, hold it, and just kind of put it in place. So now we have that little flare there in that. Let's put some more glue on my gun here. And then go back to this little baby here and let's fix it and kind of figure out where we want to put that in the center there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a bead of glue there in the center. Again, I'm going to hold it in the center and kind of got burnt there. a little too hot. I'm gonna work it around while it's hot. Just make sure you don't get burnt. Just not cool at all. And you can probably use the tip of a pencil or something, not your finger, to hold it in place. So now we have that going on. And then I'm going to go back to my filler here, because I want to add some fillers. I'll just wrap that around my finger a couple times. And go ahead and put a dot of glue or a bead of glue there. For this, I am not burning myself, ladies, this time. We shall use my little silicone dabber here. Just give it that pop. Go ahead and grab some of this, and I can probably work around this one. And this is just ideas I'm throwing out. You do not have to do it this way. You can do it however you feel necessary. Put that one. Let's go measure that in half. There, and let's go in the center there. And just kind of crisscross that around. And pom pom pom. I think it needs something, and we're going to go and use this little baby here that we kind of left aside from our previous flower. I think it needs more of a pop still. Even though we put some of that filler in there, we're going to go ahead and put another layer of filler. And this is where we build onto the flowers. That makes it give that shabby chic look. Let's put that aside because my glue doesn't want to cooperate. And you could have trimmed that little piece off. I just left it right there. And I'm not worried about how that is placed. I'm going to take the little rosette, the satin rosette. I'm going to push all that down, so I'm not too concerned. Just like so. Go ahead and pull some of your and that is a cute little flower that you can create using that one particular, and I also use what was left over from our previous flower. So we have so far 2 gorgeous flowers. Now let's move on to our next one. And again, we're going to need our thread. So I'm going to do that third kit here. And on this one, you're going to create something that looks like this one here. Let's see, where is it? This one. The only difference is that you don't get this little chiffon here, but that was just something extra I had. So we're going to go ahead and play around. You're going to get these pieces, and then you're going to get a cameo to go with that. Okay? For this one, I'm not going to actually sew this piece, or this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and trim some of this here, and I'm going to lay that and glue that in the bottom, just like so. And I'm sure you're going to get another awesome tutorial from Angela, and I'm just giving you some alternatives. Because these are really fun and cool to create, and I just wanted you guys to see how lovely this kit is. And the possibilities are endless. So you're going to see several of these out because I'm just going to show you another cool way. And I'm just kind of, see that building? Make it almost like a shape of a star. Move this one just a little wee bit more, like so. And then, because we have 3 petals, so we want 3 and a 2, one on top, one of the other. And again. And just kind of get almost like a shape of a little star going with these. Kind of catch my grip there. Okay, and then we're going to do the layer top. And for this one, we're going to go and do a lock stitch straight across, and you got to make sure you get into the thread to make sure it stays. So make sure you lock it into place within the thread itself of the trim. And just lock it in place, and then we're going to do a running stitch all the way across inside, making sure we grip onto that thread. That. Okay, so I did my running stitch and I gathered it all up, and I did my running stitch to lock those 2 ends together, and I went ahead and put another piece of felt in because this is a pretty big chunk, and it almost looks perfect for a Christmas ornament. So if you're getting you're the kind of person that goes to craft shows and you want to do that, that'd be a lovely Christmas ornament. So we're going to start building onto this one, and we're going to grab our 3rd layer and do another running stitch and layer it on top. And that's the fun, cool thing about flowers, especially fabric flowers, is that we do massive layers upon layers, and it just gives that pop, that really cool looking shabbiness to it. So now for this one, we're going to do another running stitch on, oops, see that? Didn't do a good knot. Bloopers. Bloopers, bloopers for sure. See, I don't have a really good pulling mechanism on my hands. Right. Now let's try that again. Okay, so on this one, we're just going to do our lock stitch. Remember, always a lock stitch. Try not to get your thread all knotted up like I just did here. Boy, we are really doing great with bloopers. Awesome. Awesome bloopers. Okay, so let's lock that in place and then run it across. All right. And we're just going to run that straight across. Okay, no, I'm not going to be drinking coffee right now, but what I thought when I was doing this is I wanted a really cute, shabby Christmas tree ornament for my Christmas tree, and I thought, you know, this is really cute. But what if we made it a little bit more shabby or more vintage, because my Christmas tree decor is a lot more vintage. So I have my coffee here, and I have those pieces, and here's that one trim that you get in your kit, and I did the running stitch and locked it in place, and I didn't do it such a tight fit because I wanted it a little bit more looser, but we're going to dip that in there. We're going to let those babies soak really good in there and get those colors flowing through. I want a really cute, shabby, and then I have this piece and this piece as well. And we're going to let that sit there for a little bit just to get some color, and then we're going to come back and see what comes out of that, okay? Okay, so I've taken it out of the coffee, and as you can see, it did change the colors on that. I'm pretty happy with that. Now we're going to go ahead and dry those baby up and get that color to pop out more. Now, some of the things that I've done in the past when I've coffee dyed, because I love coffee dyeing or tea dyeing, I've also done avocado dyeing, is I will take, I'm going to soak some of this in, the iron right straight to it, because it leaves like a really burnt look to it, and it gives it that really shabby feel to it. So that is something I like to do, especially like if it's a piece of fabric or something. And I'm going to just soak some of that up. It took pretty good. It's a pretty good color as compared to, see, this piece here. This is the new applique that we have in our shop, and I kind of cut it up, and that is what I have. So you can see the color difference. So it did a really good job there. And it did a good job on this trim too. Even this one, it soaked it up really good. It almost looked really vintagey. So anyway, we're going to come back with the finished dried up piece. So while that piece is drying up, we're going to go ahead and work on this other little piece here from our kit. And again, you're going to need your needle and thread. Now this one's going to be a really simple stitch, and we just got to decide how we want it. So we're going to go this way. Again, let's do a lock stitch. It's really important. And a running stitch straight across. Let's move that over here. Okay, so this kit has enough for you to make 2 flowers, actually, I believe. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut. Probably, I'm gonna go with this one here. I'm sorry, I got glue webs stuck on my scissors. Okay, so we're going to cut straight around here. And then you can just save that other piece and make another cute flower if you want. And just save this to make something else. You can use that for a pillow. Okay, so again, we're going to lock it in place. Make sure you get a grip of the fabric. and then just run right across. Okay, so here's the finished piece for that one trim. Now, I went ahead and cut the rest of it right around the edge of that, and I'm going to go ahead and do another running stitch across this one, and I'm going to do the same thing for the last piece. It's about an inch left over, and just build on a layer to this one trim or this one flower and give it a pop. Okay, so now I have sewn all 3 layers and I've gathered them up. Now I'm just kind of straightening them up before I apply it to my base here. And this is going to be a really cool looking flower. And again, if you coffee dye this would look fabulous. And we'll probably do that. We'll probably coffee dye it. And this is that extra piece, that 1 inch after we cut it up. And basically I just cut it up along the one edge, and then I cut it up on the other piece, and then I did 3 layers out of that one trim. And then we're going to do that, and it'll go just like that. And then we have these to go there in the center if you choose that, or we can go the other route. So let's go ahead and apply this, and this is the right side, so we're going to go this way. Oh, this is it. Sorry. I'm going to go put that in the center like so. Fix it. And then we're going to apply the top layer. And do the same thing. We're going to hold it in the center and kind of get it to work around where we want it before the glue dries up. Okay. Bring some light here. My room is kind of dark in here, so it's kind of hard sometimes to see in here, but here's the last piece, and we're going to put that like so there. And just go ahead and kind of hot. Center it off. And that would be cute on top of a pillow. And I said I was going to work on pillows. So I think that would be really super cute. Let's see. Some of this here. Said I was going to work on pillows, so maybe I will add that as a piece to one of my pillows. Did I lose something here? Anyway, I thought that would look cute. Let's see. Let's cut another. And this is just that applique, and I'm cutting. Nothing wrong with cutting these pieces to build on and make what you want. See that? I think that'll look cute. So let's go ahead and glue that down to place. Do the same over here. And then it came with this, and we can probably put that in the center like so, but I don't think it needs that. I think it just needs this little piece here, and that will do it. Let's get that a little bit more. Let's see, either that one or this one. Sorry, I'm off camera. Oh, I like that one better. And I'm just giving you another idea that you can use these kits. Angela has a wonderful tutorial for you guys for these kits. and I think that it'll look awesome. But this is that one, and I think it looks stunning. Let me put my light so it's not so. I think it looks really, really stunning. So that's that. Now let's check on our other piece here that we had drying up, and it's still not dried up as I can tell. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with these. They're almost dried right there. See that? One of the things I like about coffee dyeing it is it gives it that vintage, really color distress in some areas, and you probably can't really tell, but see that? The burnt, almost like a burnt edge on that. And I love that about when you're coffee dyeing, you get that really good vintage burnt crisp on that. Love that. I so love that. So it's almost dried, and we can probably start building our flower here. Or actually, I think it'd be cute as a Christmas ornament or any type of hanging ornament. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a bead of glue in the center there. Apply this piece here that we cut up and made into a little star kind of thing. Get that really good. That looks great. See that? Looks fabulous. Okay, and then this is something new. This is a new applique that we have in the store. I'm going to put that there, and yeah, we're just going to cover that up. That's okay, because I want that dangle look, and I'm going to do it between the two petals here. I want a dangled look. Now, we're going to take this one and apply it there in the center. So put a generous amount there. And, oops, wrong way. Wrong way. Got my glue all in the wrong way. See that? Oh. Okay. Put it in place. Clean up your mess, May. There we go. Fluff it out. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. See that? And then this is that same piece, the applique here, and I just used what was left over when I cut those out, and I coffee dyed it. And I'm going to go ahead and put it here like so. And then in your kit you're going to get a cameo, and I thought that would look cute and stunning. Let's move this little wet cloth here. Sorry. This is an unedited video. And right in the center, make sure everything's aligned. Like so. And then we're going to go ahead and put that one there. And that's going to go right there. Just like that. Oh, I think that looks stunning. And you can put some beads coming through. I mean, it is so gorgeous. Let's clean this up here. Glue webs. All right, so this is another alternative that you can do using that kit that we have in the store, creatingwithdetailstore.com. Gives you another idea, and you're going to have some more lovely ideas coming to you by Angela Holtz from Angela Holtz Design. So this is the one kit. Here's one. Here's the other. And we have this one. And what else did we do? We did this one. Let's trim some of this off. Right there. And I don't. So we did 5 little flowers using that trim, and this one's going to be cute whether you do it for a Christmas ornament or any type of project, or even a pillow. I don't know. It's just too cute. Just like this one, it's also cute. They're all cute. They're all super cute. So I just wanted to give you a different feel of how you can build on to these and create different styles of flower, just using creative ways of using your remnants or any piece that you might have laying around, and utilizing that with some of the pieces from the kit. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know if you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Oops.